Please remain standing for the posting of the colors by the Pine Forest Air Force JROTC Color Guard and the Pledge of Allegiance. Gentlemen, please remove your hats. Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Good afternoon. My name is Dawson Jarman, and it is my honor to welcome you to the Pine Forest High School Class of 2022 graduation. I would like to start off by thanking every family member, faculty, staff, friend, and Board of Education member for not only helping us get to this monumental moment, but for investing in our futures as a whole. I would also like to thank my fellow Trojans for electing me to be your student body president this school year. It has truly been an honor to represent our school. We all can admit, senior year has been crazy. We all have faced many emotions in which we couldn't tell the difference between excitement or nerves. Even though none of us wanted to admit it, every time we were having our last of something, we were hit with the stark realization that we soon would be leaving the four walls of Pine Forest High School. For some of us, Fayetteville is all that we've ever known. In roughly 45 minutes, we will look back at Pine Forest High School and say high school is now in the past. We will look back and cling to the laughter with our friends, cheering on our fellow Trojans on Friday nights, running in the halls to avoid getting caught in a hall sweep, conversations in the fish pond, and so much more. As these memories fade away, my hope is that one thing will remain, the immense feeling of family for all Pine Forest High School students and alumni. As we walk out these doors, some of us will never see each other again. My hope is that our Trojan pride will never fade. Always remember that no matter where life takes you, you have a home at Pine Forest High School, where everyone and everything matters. Thank you.
am pleased to introduce to you today our invited guest. Please hold your applause until all guests have been recognized. We ask that the guests remain standing until all names have been called. To my left, Ron Phipps, Associate Superintendent of Evaluation and Testing. Ruben Reyes, Associate Superintendent of Human Resources. Nicholas Soika, Board Attorney. Dr. Tonjay Robertson, Executive Director of School Support for High Schools. Dr. Lindsay Whitley, Associate Superintendent, Communications and Community Engagement. Dr. Stacy Wilson Norman, Chief Academic Officer, Curriculum and Instructional Programs. David Colbreth, Director of Student Activities and our former principal. Dr. Marvin Conley Jr., Superintendent, Cumberland County Schools. Greg West, Chair, Cumberland County Board of Education. Deanna Jones, Vice Chair, Cumberland County Board of Education. Diana Jones, Vice Chair, Cumberland County Board of Education. Alicia Chisholm, Cumberland County Board of Education. Charles McKellar, Cumberland County Board of Education. Donna Van, Cumberland County Board of Education. Susan Williams, Cumberland County Board of Education. To my right, Linwood Starling, 2021-2022 Teacher of the Year. Brittany Raines, Lead Counselor. Dr. Mary Black, Associate Superintendent, Student Support Services. Dr. Jane Fields, Assistant Superintendent, Secondary Education. Betty Musselwhite, Associate Superintendent, School Support. Erica Thames, Science Teacher and Graduation Announcer. Laura Moya, Assistant Principal. Dr. Jewel McDonald, our Principal. To my right, seated in the chairs on the floor, are the senior homeroom teachers. Members of Pine Forest faculty are present throughout the Coliseum. We appreciate your presence here today.
Today's graduates appreciate your support at this momentous occasion and have asked for a dignified ceremony. I would like to take this opportunity to remind the audience that you can best show your congratulations by not shouting or applauding for any one senior. We all have worked for 13 years to reach this day of celebration. Every name is important. We ask that you follow our wishes and hold your applause until the last graduate has been awarded his or her diploma and the turning of tassels. We would like to ask the family of the senior whose name has been called to stand silently in acknowledgement to honor this outstanding achievement. Those who choose not to abide by the wishes of our senior class will be escorted out of the ceremony. For your convenience, a professional photographer from LifeTouch Studios photographed each graduate at our full dress rehearsal. Copies of the photographs can be ordered at lifetouch.com. Thank you for respecting our graduates and our ceremony.
I've heard it said that people come into our lives for a reason, bringing something we must learn, and we are led to to those who help us most to grow if we let them, and we help them in return. Well, I don't know if I believe that's true, but I know I'm who I am today because I knew you. Like a comet pulled from orbit as it passes the sun, like a stream that meets a boulder halfway through the world. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. It's well maybe that we will never meet again in this lifetime. So let me say before we part, so much of me is made of what I learned from you. You'll be with me like a handprint on my heart. And now whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by being my friend. Like a shipwreck from exploring by the wind of the sea, like the seed left by a skybird in a distant wood. Who can say if I've been changed for the better? Because I knew you. Because I knew you. I have been changed for good.
And just to clear the air, I ask forgiveness for the things I feel you blame me for. But then I guess we know there's blame to share, and none of it seems to matter anymore.
I do believe I have been changed for the better. And because I knew you, because I knew you, because I knew you, I have been changed.
Hi, everyone. My name is Nia Stabler, and I have served as the senior class president for the 2021-2022 school year. I would first like to say I am so proud of us. We did it. Now, as we embark on a new journey and start our lives away from Pine Forest High School, we never want to forget from where we have came. Most of us have grown up together, made memories together, made lasting mistakes together. Today, we get to look down memory lane and be amazed at just how far we've came. We can think back to the first pep rally, freshman year, where there just seemed to be a freedom we never experienced in middle school. Then the huge homecoming nomination our sophomore year, when we weren't sure who would take the title. That, of course, takes us to our COVID year. We all know this was different, to say the least. Quarantine allowed some of us to take a well-needed break, while others felt as though they just had to get out. And now we have completed our senior year, our year of last. The last high school football game, the last basketball game, the last homecoming, the last club competitions, the last lunch table laughs, the last of Dr. Hill's papers. We've come so far, from looking for a ride to go to the movies, to now jumping in your own car or your friend's vehicle, to wishing we had money, to now working 20 hours a week or more to earn our own source of income. There have been some challenging times, but I believe the class of 2022 has made a huge impact on Pine Forest High School. We've touched so many hearts, caused so many smiles, created so many laughs, and now we can say our journey at Pine Forest has come to an end. As we all go on with our lives, try new things, and have adventures, I want us all to remember, home isn't a place, it's people. And because of the people we have met here, Pine Forest will always be our home. Thank you.
Good afternoon, friends and families, teachers and faculties, and of course, the class of 2022. It has already been an honor to have been able to grow and learn with this awesome group of people, and now I've been given the extra privilege to reflect back upon our time at Pine Forest. So hello, my name is Ni Trong, and I am your 2022 third honor graduate for Pine Forest High School. These past 4 years seem to fly by us. Now that was a cliche saying, but honestly, our 4 years did go by so fast, primarily because of COVID. As we all remember, our sophomore year was cut short. I still remember how excited I was and how I exclaimed that spring break had come early. Well, that spring break lasted to our senior year. However, I have to give it up to our class because personally, I feel like we went out with a bang. I still remember the feeling of a sore throat after cheering so hard at a football game. Our sport teams dominated the field this year. I also remember this year's kickball event. That was one of the many things our SGA planned. And just the other day, when I was walking down the hallway to get my cap and gown, I saw these gorgeous painted lockers, all thanks to our art club. This isn't all. There are many more clubs and activities that I can mention that made this year truly memorable and remarkable. However, I do only have 2 minutes, so I'll wrap it up. My point is that while our class only got to spend 2 full years here, our first being freshmen, and our next and last being seniors, we managed to make Pine Forest so beautiful, fun, and left a truly remarkable legacy. So standing here, I want to recognize you guys, my classmates and friends, who saw this huge wall of obstacles, and instead of being stuck as the sophomores we were left being at the beginning of this pandemic, we created new ladders and climbed out as proud seniors graduating. In the future, each of us will probably face more challenges, adversities, and unexpected changes. But what I hope we all remember is that we, class of 2022, can and did adapt to make the best out of the worst situations. Therefore, my hope for this class is that each of you will go on and fill your life with beauty, fun, and just make yourself proud, because I am so incredibly proud and grateful to be a part of this class. So to my classmates of 2022, I cannot predict what your future will hold, but I do hope you can forever fondly remember the memories of being a Trojan.
I am going to change the world. Quite possibly the biggest proclamation you can make using only 6 words. And yet, at this step in our lives, we tend to hear it a lot. We have adults trying to convince us it's true, but if you're anything like me, you don't even have a clear view of the future. So, what does changing the world look like? When we think of changing the world, we tend to think of the big things. curing cancer, solving world hunger, stopping global warming, the same issues all pageant queens get up and talk about. But we're not all going to achieve something that big. Quite frankly, most of us won't. But I don't think we're all meant to. However, I do know we will make it somewhere. We're high school graduates after all, and I know you didn't put up with 4 years of all of that for nothing. What does changing the world look like? Sure, you can name off the big things, but I do not believe that you have to achieve something so monumental to change the world. As they say, it's the little things. It's a cliche, but cliches only come to be true when people find them true enough to repeat. I want to finish off this speech talking to you as a person. Not as a graduate, not as an artist or an athlete, not even as a student, simply as a person. So, as a person who believes in being kind, do not underestimate the power of those little things. Stopping to help someone who dropped their bag, getting your mom her coffee, which you know she deserves, speaking that she puts up with you, putting aside other responsibilities to be there for a friend, even if it puts you behind. These are the things that determine who you are, which I promise is much more important than what you are. And those little things add up to the big things. As we're all out there, wherever life takes us, chasing various types of success and writing our futures, here's your reminder. Your reminder that what you're doing isn't nearly as important as how you are doing it. Your reminder that a 6-figure job doesn't make you worthy, being famous doesn't make you successful, and it most certainly does not make you a good person. Success isn't about the number of people who know your name. Success is fulfilling your purpose, and that purpose may not be grand or monumental or world-altering. The key is in emphasizing who you are outside of those labels we put on each other, and not being afraid to be so unapologetically yourself that you leave no doubt that you're living the life you were meant to live. Be the one who is mature and sturdy and strong, the one willing to bring up those hard conversations. Be a fierce friend and unconditional lover, the one who doesn't apologize for their feelings. Simply be you, the real you, and your purpose will come from there. And as far as changing the world goes, you already have. Just by being here, you have touched the life of someone else. To at least one other person, you have changed their world, and that is grand within itself. So, back to the original statement. I'm going to change the world. Yes, I'm sure you are. Just remember that changing the world isn't always grand. Life is what you make of it. No matter how tragic life may become, no matter how messy, what happens next is still up to you. Friendships, relationships, opportunities, moments, they all come and they all go. So make the most of it. Don't pretend to be something you're not, and start living for those little things. The power is in your hand. So here's to changing the world. Here's to writing our futures. To the class of 2022, congrats.
Thank you to the students, teachers, parents, and staff that have supported us on our journey through high school. Class of 2022, we are done. And I am so proud of every single one of you for the hard work that you've put into these last 4 years. It has not gone unnoticed. For as long as I can remember, my family laptop has had the same screensaver. It is a quote by Theodore Roosevelt. He said, "It is not the critic who counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbles, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and sweat and blood, who tries valiantly, who errs, who comes short again and again, because there's no effort without error and shortcoming, but who does actually strive to do the deeds, who knows great enthusiasms and great devotions, who spends himself in a worthy cause, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat." Fellow classmates, let's learn to ignore the people in the crowd. As Roosevelt said, their critical voices don't count. Listen instead to the supportive words and cheers from those who are fighting in the arena with you. Listen to the ones who are ready to get bloody and dusty in the battle with you and for you. The voices in the stands can be deafening sometimes. Just remember that you are the one in the arena who is actually fighting the fight and working hard to conquer your fears and reach your goals. Keep this quote in mind if you don't get accepted into the job you've worked so hard for. Don't get the grade you've been studying hard to receive. Keep trying to PR your deadlift and continue to fall short. Feel homesick after moving away from home, have trouble finding friends, or even if you're just going through a hard time. Roosevelt said, "If he fails, at least he fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who neither know victory nor defeat." The moral of this quote by Roosevelt is that it doesn't matter whether you succeed or fail. It's about still putting in the work and proving to yourself that you can and you will try no matter what. And like my dad likes to say, there's only winning and learning. Go fight for your dreams, class of 2022, and know that I'll be right there in the arena doing the same.
Good afternoon. It is truly an honor to serve as the principal of Pine Forest High School. I believe in life we are each afforded opportunities to make a difference, opportunities to impact lives, and opportunities to, as Gandhi so eloquently stated, be the change we wish to see in the world. Having the opportunity to serve as your principal has given me all the aforementioned opportunities, and for that, class of 2022, I'm forever grateful. When I pondered about what I would speak about this afternoon, many thoughts and ideas came to mind. I started to replay the school year in my head and the many things that occurred. One thing this year taught me, and I hope it taught you too, is to always look for the lesson learned. Or as your English 2 teacher would explain it, the theme, the lesson being portrayed to you. During my first year as your principal, each of you have taught me the following lessons, and I hope these lessons will resonate with you as you journey through life. Always believe. In life, tough times are inevitable. Tough times will happen. It's not a question of if, but when, and it's in those uncomfortable moments that our faith is tested, our grit is tested, our perseverance is tested. It's in these moments that we must always believe. You'll lose sometimes, and you'll fail at some things, and life will not always work out the way that you perfectly planned it. The last few years, you were tested with the challenge of the pandemic, and you persevered through it because you believed. Walt Disney was fired from his job because, according to his boss, he lacked imagination, but he kept believing and was nominated for 59 Academy Awards and is one of the greatest animators of all time. Oprah Winfrey's first job in TV ended because she was deemed not a good fit for TV, but she kept believing, and she is now one of the top talk show hosts in American history. Back in March, I read an inspiring article in the Fayetteville Observer about a young man from Pine Forest who worked hard and kept believing in himself. When asked about his success, Tristan stated, "It's been a long journey, being told I'm too little, too skinny, but it's been a memorable journey. Today, that young man has signed to play college basketball, and achieved his goals. Tristan added in that same article that I've always let those words encourage and push me. He kept believing, worked hard, and succeeded. From my first days at Pine Forest, I constantly heard the saying, never quit ever. No matter how hard, how long, how arduous, never quit ever. Keep pushing, keep trying. Always put people first. Seniors, always value and cherish those around you. In life, you will have the opportunity to interact with a myriad of people from a myriad of places with a plethora of experiences. Whether that's your family, your friends, colleagues, or the random stranger, no matter how they enter your life or for the duration that they remain in your life, people are so very important to us as human beings. An interaction with someone can change your life forever. This quote sums it up. Some people will come into your life as blessings, and some people will come into your life as lessons. Take time to cherish every lesson and every blessing. I was always told and reminded by my mentor to always put people first, to cherish people, to remember people, to care about people, that in everything I do, remember my why, which is people. He taught me people over policy. I'll never forget those words so vividly and authentically shared with me by Mr. Colbreth. Each day that I venture to be your principal, those words are etched in my heart. I always strive to put people first, to remember people, to build relationships, and to simply cherish people. Today, graduates, I challenge you to always, in all that you do, put people first. Thank you, class of 2022, for the memories, the lessons learned, and the warm smiles. Thank you for always teaching me to believe, always keep trying, and always be open, and to always put people first. As you leave the friendly confines of Pine Forest, I challenge you to always learn from your experiences, successes, and mistakes. I challenge you to always find that lesson learned in each situation, and I hope that you continue to keep Pine Forest close to your heart and dear in your thoughts. Before you depart this Coliseum today, I want to leave you with one last gift to remember Pine Forest. While talking to Ms. Beard's first period class, I learned a very interesting fact. Students love stickers. So as your final gift from Pine Forest, each of you will receive a Pine Forest sticker especially designed for the class of 2022 to put wherever you deem appropriate to remember the North Side, the 525, and the green and gold. I hope each time you look at this sticker, you finally remember the lessons learned throughout high school. Class of 2022, I congratulate you, I will miss you, and I wish you all the world's best. Now, as we move into the purpose of this ceremony, I want to make a request for all parents and guests. Each graduate has entrusted you with a ticket to be here this afternoon. Our graduates are striving to have a perfect graduation. If they do, they will receive a commemorative tribute at school. Imagine, forever, on display, the great class of 2022. Here is how you can help them. Every 3 seconds, Miss Erica Thames will be calling out names. In order for everyone to hear his or her name, I ask that you do not cheer until the end of the ceremony. I would ask that family members and guests in attendance, please stand quietly when your child's name is called to show your support. I promise there will be an opportunity to cheer for your special graduate once all names have been called and I have declared everyone graduates. I thank you in advance for helping our children receive their tribute and for making sure everyone gets to hear his or her name. Seniors on stage, you may now join your classmates. Marshals, please come forward and escort the seniors for the presentation of diplomas.
Jaden Brielle Abbey. Stephen Jacob Acevedo. Daniela Alexis Aguado. Naif Malik Alcides. Trinity Michaela Alexander. Samaria Alora Allen. Rami Yahia Alcides. Ikira Shanae Anderson. Aiden Vincent Antley. Vincenzo Francesco Arquino. Mackenzie Marie Armstrong. Jewel Sumali Aerosmith. Makai Nathaniel Atkins. Bradley Michael Alman. Alexander Jason Fortner Baker. Riley Danielle Baker. Jemiah Monet Barber. Kiasia Nyana Barber. Samora Alexis Barrett. Ellie Christine Bell. Hayward Tavon Bell. Eric Antonio Benitez. Chloe Joy Bertram. Carlos Manuel Bentoncourt Mendez. William Hunter Black. Jacob Christopher Blanton. Delano Iman Blevins. Kylie Samaya Blunt. Trinique DeSilas Booker. Jaredella Laura Boone. Jasmine Nicole Boone. Kimberly Tamika Boone. Keegan Mikael Boykin. Gavin Robert Bradshaw. Madison Rose Braga. Jakir Nakai Branch. Joseph Kyle Jamal Brantley. Matthew Eric Brightman. Quentin Levon Brown Jr. Kaylee Paige Burlingame. Nia Retha Unique Cabell. Asiana Ariel Caldwell Davis. Ephraim Jakar Capers. Sanaa Monet Carmichael. Julian Antoine Carr. Blaine Christopher Carter. Essence Kiera Kaysen. Shania Cheyenne Kaysen. Nathan Hayden Cheney. Selena Ann Chavez. Allison May Cheney. Janiyah Gabrielle Christmas. Jordy Lavon Cole Jr. Crystal Marie Colazzo. Luis Eric Colon Colazzo. Christopher Jack Collins. Kasaya Ambriance Conley. Alton Terrell Deshane Cooper Jr. Mikey Tamon Shamil Corbett Jr. Savannah Alexis Cotton. Nadia Khalees Crosby. Jada Nicole Cherie Crow. Brianna
Cruel. Caitlin Sophia Crumpler. Khalif Kavion Crutherds. Grace Elizabeth Demore. Chase Abella Aaliyah Daniels. Aiden Emmanuel Davenport. Sean Hunter Davidson. Joshua Eron Davis. Kenneth Lafayette Davis. Jordan Lynn Dean. Aaron True Debenport. Nay Guignan Simone Jum. Aiden Michael Dobson. Sade Marie Douglas. Najee Tyson Dove. Tristan Shay Dry. Justin Raymonte Eaglin. Connor Alexander Eckhart. Mackenzie Teresa Edmond. Hoda Hisham Ali El Said. Brianna Lynette Estevez. J. Marie Victoria Evans. Jaden Alexander Faison. Andrew Lewis Ferrand. Jordan Capria Fields. Rashandra Florvelis. Gabriel Robert Foley. Ethan Ben Zachary Stewart Ford. Camden James Forehand. Roberto Eduardo Funes Rabasa. Taylor Anise Gavin. Damaris Lamont Gibson. Emily Marie Gibson. Journey Noel Tony Glass Frazier. Aiden Scott Glenny. Ayana Lachey Goins. Isabella Jada Good Hudson. Cameron Lamont Graham. Katrina Sheriana Graham. Lucas Avery Granger. Jacob Walker Green. Danielle Iman Griffiths. Logan Alexander Griggs. Kevin Christopher Grund. Jessamine Catalina Mujayalani Guerrero. Arjan Aquino Gutierrez. Calicia Elisa Hack. Derek Emmanuel McLeod Hall. Colin Dean Harden. Tristan Tanner Harkins. Christopher David Harrington. Sicario Kamar Harrington. Billy Terrell Isaiah Harris Jr. Isabella Zilthia Harris. Shania Trinice Harris. Joshua Isaiah Hartley. Vaishon Tyree Hess. Trenton Denzel Hightower. Gregory Wayne Holt II. Chloe Nicole Hooper. Devin Andrew Hull. Carissa Leo Humphrey. Kavan Orion Jackson Wyatt. Jada Monique Jackson. Jelani Michelle Claire Jackson. Kenyetta Olivia Jacobs. Ariane Jane. Dawson Michelle Jarman. Brianna Jeanette Johnson. Christopher Atlee Johnson. Edmund Dwayne Johnson, Jr. Matthew James Johnson. Nastajale Micah Jasmine Johnson. Michael Scott Jones, Jr. Tiana Nicole Jones. Zamaria Yanae Jones. Jakayla Nichelle Jordan. Rula Victoria Kalivas. Amari Nishir Casey. Aaron McLean Katner. Kyland Kimbrion Kelly. Lamaya Brene Kelly. Nicole Tatiana King. Shanae Chanel King. Chelsea Renee Kinlaw. Kaylin Kling. Omarion Quintel Knox. Zendina Ashley Kraus. Ellie Faith Cook. Ava Marisol Kerr. Justin Brandon Lanzo. Javon Antonio Marquise Lattimore Shaw. Trent Jerome Leone. Ariana Lachey Lewis. Dartanasia Monet O'Shea Lindsay. Marcel Neo Long. Natalie Page Long. Christian Ilias Lopez Saxon. Nashay Nakaya Lucky. Diego Emilio Luna. Damani Tyler Kanye Litch. Jose Luis Macias. Destiny Tania Mack. Kaylee Nicole Maddox. Shannon Olivia Maples. Halia Komori Marcel. Jada Nicole Mars. Josias Ajani Marsh. Ryan Ralph Mathlin. Sierra Taylor Jade Matter. Dearian Tyreek Edward McLean. Aaliyah Elizabeth McClanahan. Haley Nicole McCoy. Jalen Clark McDonald. Natalie Ellen Marie McGee. Tanaja Mercedes McCoy. Kayla Amir McLean Johnson. Malik Lawan McFatter. Trinice Antoinette McRae Hoffman. Callie Lila Mean. Jennifer Sabrina Miller. Wendy Miko Milicelovic. Cody Bryson Mims. Nikayla Aleem McPhee Minot. Charles Jordan Moody. Brian Solomon Moore. Haley Asia Gabrielle Moore. Heaven Ava Abigail Moore. Marquasia Janelle Moore. Jada Olivia Morgan. Charles Collier Morris II. Antonio Lorante Nicholson. Norris Devon Newsom. George Titus Nutt. Alexander Michael Etker. Braden Henry Ogles. Adara Achille Owens. Caden Dax Pace. Giovanni Pacheco Batista. Jacob Lamar Luke Packer. Amzare Padilla Arroyo. Nicholas Alexander Palacios. Ariana Elizabeth Papagno. Leah Simone Parker. Samaj Mikkel Parker. Jayla Michelle Parrish. Vergis Frederick Pearson. Oliver Pena Ortiz. Daniel Edward Penrod Jr. Tykiana Marie Perry. Damian Lee Phillips. Khalid Jelani Pierre Lewis. Lucinda Giselle Pitcher. Amari Jordan Powell. Abigail Taylor Price. Tristan Connor Prophet. Desmond Amari Pugh. Jelani Alicia Ovella Rapu. Serena Jasmine Reed. Sanaya Renee Reed. Spencer Wallace Reese. Janelle Christiana Reed. Tiana Shanice Rice. Whitney Grace Rice. Brianna Annalise Rivera Butler. Crystal Naomi Rivera Sanchez. Wanye Demore Robinson. Chelsea Nicole Robles. Benson Randolph Rodriguez. William James Ross. Ellis Rowell IV. Jackson Lafayette Saquity. Eva Yoemi Saus. Aviana Ashley Samaniego. Catherine Elaine Sanchez. Liberty Annabelle Schrader. Tiana Star Schwab. Jayshawn Lanier Scott. Bobby Jean Redcloud Seaberry. Elizabeth Red Raven Seaberry. Amaya Renee Seabrook. Tyreek Lamar Shaw. Jose LaRon Shepard Jr. Mahogany Leandra Shepard. David Allen Sharon. Balin Tucker Simmons. Clyde Irvin Sinclair III. Maya Janae Singleton. Mackenzie Grace Snipes. Isaiah Spain. Curtis Alexander St. Marie. Madison Rose Stabler. Theron James Stauffer. Aiden Luther Stockham. Kevin Witzler Stone. Riley Grace Stone. Kaylee Ann Strickland. Daniel Clyde Summerall. Brianna Nicole Sumter. Sharice Taylor. Jemiah Dejanay Taylor. Keyshawn Avant Taylor. Lachey Quajanique Taylor. Kayla Marie Testerman. Haley Nicole Tu. Andrea Janine Thomas. Anthony Glenn Thomas. Caleb Andrew Thomas. Mackenzie Marie Thomas. Tijanae Tajay Thomas. Savora Danae Thompson. Christopher Ryan Thompson. Ellie Grace Tinker. Callie Maylene Tripp. Ni Mai Trong. Andrea Michaela Tercios Romero. Mac Jones Utley. Isabella Valderrama. Urani Jaylene Velasquez Salazar. Renee Elizabeth Von Korf. Marquaylin Jamario Walton. Ian Nicholas Ward. Layla Simone Weathers. Janae Marie Weaver. Isaiah Ajaya Webb. Kelsey Ann Weisler. Caitlin Rose Weller. Emma Jo Welling. Maurice Anthony Weston Johnson. Anaya Janae White. Antoine Maurice White Jr. Manop White. Melinda Crystal White. Caleb Hunter Williams. Shamond Devontae Williams. Jasmine Nicole Williams. Miracle Anaya Williams. Tyshana Frederique Williams. Michael David James Wright. Makai Isaiah Wynn. Sophia Lene Young. Nia Shamari Stabler.
Graduates, please stand. I declare you by the State of North Carolina Department of Public Instruction as graduates of Pine Forest High School. You may now turn your tassel.